Today is our webinar for the First Friday Service Team Seminars with Michael James and Jessica Powell. You just heard her earlier. And today we are going to be going over the eMoney Vault, as well as householding and access forms, what they are and why they matter and why you should be interested in those. So we are going to start off here with, of course, the first part of everything is logging in to eMoney. Now, we always suggest going in through the Maestro Wealth site, which I will be able to show you here in just a moment. So we will start right here. This is just maestrowealth.com. You can Google Maestro Wealth Advisors. This will be the first one to come up. You're going to want to use this portion right here, client access. And then you'll want to click eMoney right here. And then from here, mine is not my email. It's slightly different, but your guys' login username will just be your email. And then the password is whatever you needed to set up for your own. And if there's a time where maybe you forgot your password, you think it's compromised for any reason, all you have to do is go down here and click Forgot Password. And you'll be able to go through the process quickly on any time to be able to update that. And if for some reason it seems off, you're not understanding something, the system's being weird, just give us a call at 336-448-1086 and we'll be able to help you out with that, no problem. Now we're gonna log into my test account. And here's, of course, the main page for eMoney, where you're able to see everything, net worth, investments, all of my lovely information here. And we are going to go up to this top bar right up here, if you're following along, will be the vault. And you can click right there. Here. And this is the main page for the vault, and we're going to go starting right here at shared documents. This is the place where there are certain forms where we are not able, unfortunately, to have you e-sign them. Not everything is always up to date, and you have to wet sign them. And if you don't want to come into the office, that's fine. That can be a hassle. So we will place forms right in here for you to get. So let's just say, oh, I have this document right here that I know that I need to sign. And so I'll be able to click in here to this just random example document that we have. And I can just hit download the original file. Okay, and no need to worry about that. You can see it down here at the bottom. And I can go from here. I can see the form that we had, and I can hit print. And then from there, I can just go through the normal printing process, print it out. We'll always have a highlighted mark next to any spots that you need to sign, date, or initial. And if you have any questions about it, always feel free to give us a call. It's always better than having to do things twice, because they are very particular and very, very specific about the things that they want, and they will make us do it as many times as it takes to get it right. So we always like to do it one and done, and my show to make it as easy for you and as quick. And let's say after you've got that signed and everything, you want to go back and say, hey, I want to put that in. So you've scanned it back in to your computer. There are two ways that you can do this. I'm going to pull over my file browser in my computer right here. You can see that I have this example document that I've signed right here. You can click and just drop it right there, and it'll upload it. And it will give us a notification that you've uploaded it, so you don't have to worry about that. We do check things periodically, especially if we're expecting something from a client. And if you're, for some reason, would rather not do it that particular way that I just mentioned, then you can also do it this other way. You can click Upload, then go to Files. It'll open up your file browser. You click here, click Open, and it will drop it there all the same as well. So that's just a simple way of how to get in, get out. It's basically like Dropbox, that only you and we have access to. So it's super useful and super helpful to be able to do those things. And now we are going to go to, we're going to go over insurance. This is just if you guys have any insurance that maybe you received through us or we have the documents for, we would just place them here. And this is just a simple one-stop shop just to see all of your insurance forms that you have. If we have access to those, we'll have those right there for you. And then planning. This is the space where when you guys came in for your first appointments here, and we had all those nice papers that had all the plans for everything for your retirement or whatever position you're in. And any updates to that plan will be placed right here in case you want to look over them to see if you're on track, to review them before an appointment, or if you're just wanting to look over them and maybe want to talk to your advisor about something in particular and have more knowledge on it, it'll be right here for you. And estate documents. This is any place that you will have your power of attorney forms, your funding letters, and a funding letter is just a really great piece of paper that shows for this type of account, you'll have these beneficiaries. This type of account, it'll be these specific beneficiaries. And that's all according to your will and trust that you have. And we will also, speaking of wills and trust, we will have your wills and your trusts here as well. If you have those, they'll all be right here, just in case you need it for any time. And we'll go back. Another thing to note is that when you're in this file browser, it's wanting to be a little bit slow. You can see whenever I click into planning right here, it goes files, planning. That's just a way to see how deep you are into the system. So I know that if I hit here, it'll take me to files because that's the very top. And it just shows you, you went to this file, to this file, to this file, in case you ever want to remember where it is in the line. And my private documents is something a little different. This is something that from our end, from the Maestro end, we can't see this at all. We don't see your private documents. It's not even pulled up for us unless you want it to be. This is where you can have your passports here, different family information about anything. You can put anything here that you want. If you're like, man, it would be nice to have this document or this information available safely and from anywhere, then you can put those here for children's documents and birth certificates, just as a second place to hold those. And of course, if you ever need to, you can hit new folder and add you a new folder if there's something else that you want. Maybe you have different collectibles and you want to have the certificates digitally put on here. You can do that just as fine as well. Going back to the top, we're going to go to InvestNet. InvestNet is a system that is most likely not familiar to the client side, but it's definitely familiar to the backend side. They're just a different system that we use, and we're trying to make sure to get this on all of our clients. And this is a space that will have your quarterly performance reports. This is a space where if you're on our last webinar, you notice that I said that eMoney, it shows how much money you have and what makes up each of your accounts as they ebb and flow throughout time. But it doesn't necessarily give you the performance data that you need to see how good is it really doing. Because if you took $10,000 out of your account for a bathroom renovation, living room renovation, it's going to say that month, oh, well, you went down $10,000. Doesn't mean your account was doing bad. It just means that $10,000 left and it's letting you know. These are things that come from Avantax and NFS, National Financial Services, which is the actual company that the money is held with, which is under Fidelity. This is the place where it'll really give you that detailed breakdown to be able to go over everything, which we will go over in a future webinar series as well. And if we go back up to the top to files, we will see brokerage account documents. Now, this is something that is most definitely useful for this time of the year with tax season all around us. If you click into here, everything that is here and under InvestNet is all put in by our back office. We don't put in any of these documents ourselves. And you will notice whenever we're going through here, you'll only see like one option on each of them. But whenever you're looking in and it's not a test account, you'll see many different options, and I'll be able to explain that. So let's say you come into Files, to Brokerage Account Documents, then we hit Tax Documents. You can see up here, it shows what we clicked to get here. And you see we have Joint. If you have other accounts, you'll see the other accounts listed here too. And you can just click whichever one you're wanting. And let's say if we click Joint with Rights of Survivorship, generally there will be, say, 2021, last 90 days, last 7 days, last 5 days, yesterday, all as different accounts. So you'll go into brokerage accounts, you'll pick what kind of document you want to see, you'll pick what account you want to see it from, and then you get to pick what timetable you want it to narrow in on. So right here is going to be what tax documents for my joint account do I have from 2022? So if you want your tax documents from 2022, you don't want to hit from the last 30 days, because even though it may have been released in the last 30 days, it really has the information for 2022, not anything from the past month. So you'll click into 2022, and the wording may be slightly different on your legitimate one, but right here we can see that we have my 1099-R and my 5498 for my account. And I can easily click these, download them, click it, and it opened on my other screen. You can see a nice eMoney example document, very official. My tax preparer will be very pleased with it. And I can just print it from here, or I can download it anywhere and send it where it needs to go. And then we can always, you don't have to click back up through each one to move up. You can just click up to the top, boop, and it will bring you right back to the top of this. Now we're going to go back into the account documents, because there will be other options here that we can have. Let me just get over here. Like there will also be a folder for you for your trade confirmations, which just shows all the different trades that and confirms that you can already see on eMoney anyways, but it's just the official ledger of it, because the company legally has to give you access to all this information one way or another. And then also correspondence, which is anytime that the company has any message for you or not, whether or not you need to see it. And now we're going to go down to statements, and you'll see that statements, we have, of course, there will be other accounts for years if you have more than one account. We'll click to the account and then the timetable. And I want to see what year to date my statements have. And click in here, and I can see my quarterly statement, and then I can see my statement for the household summary. And that is a perfect segue to discuss what the next portion of it is, and it's about this right here, that household summary. I generally like to have things pretty concise, simple right there, so you don't have to have 30 things all at once, which is why we have eMoney in the first place. Because instead of having to have 5 websites open for all of my financial accounts, I can have them one-stop shop right here, quick and easy, where I can see everything and it's accurate. And when we're discussing with the household, there's a form that we have that we will be able to put in your vault right in here in the shared documents for you to be able to get in and sign. That basically makes it to where if I have an IRA, a Roth, and a joint account, it would be nice if I could get one statement that has all that information put together in one, instead of just 3 separate statements. Then I have to look through everything and figure out what it is. And that's what the householding statement does. So that's what we always want to make sure, that if there's anybody that hasn't went over and signed one of those whenever they came on, we want to make sure that we can get you to have that. So if you do have any kind of physical paper still coming in, then you get less of that. And if it's in eMoney, then you can have less of the digital downloads and more size and more confusion whenever you're trying to look at everything. It makes it all in one at one time. And then we have the third-party online view access form. We just call that our access form here. And this makes it to where, let's say we're looking at our brokerage account documents, and we're going to see statements. And let's say my wife has a rollover IRA. Well, it looks like I don't see it here, but I might go up to the home to my main view and I can see everything. Well, why am I not seeing it here? That's because I haven't signed this online access form that makes it to where our back office doesn't feed in that I can see hers. So then I have to go, dear, will you please log on so that we can get your statements also? It makes it just more of a hassle to where you have to have two people logging in to get things, because everything that happens, like I said, under the brokerage account documents form is not fed in by us. It's stuff that's fed in automatically by our back office. So if you do the third-party access form, it makes sure that this brokerage account documents section is as useful to you as possible. Now, if it's only you that's on here, then that's totally fine. There's no reason to worry about the third-party access. So to recap for that, we have the householding form. It makes it to where you can get that household summary to where everything is nicely put and all together, whether in paper or on eMoney, where we're at right now. And then we have the third-party online access form, which makes it to where you can see all the automatically fed statements, tax documents, correspondence, trade confirmations, and everything all online, and that your spouse or significant other can see it right there with you as well. And we also do want to announce that our next webinar, which will be coming up next month, and that will be on the first Friday, as it is on April the 7th, we will be going over how to link accounts in eMoney, because we know that is one of the most often cited questions that we get is about how do I link this? How do we get that? We'll make sure to go over everything with that at 10 o'clock on Friday, April the 7th. We'll be sending out an email most likely a week beforehand. So just make sure to look out for that and keep that on your calendar there on April the 7th at 10 a.m. And let me see one moment here. Hey, Darren, it looks like you said that your account documents folder is empty. Okay, that is something that we have been, there've been some troubleshooting that we've noticed, and we are going to be looking through that. We'll make sure Jessica's putting that on her action list right now, so that after this, we're going to look into that and make sure we can get that fixed for you. We've noticed that's happened a few times. If maybe the link breaks, that happens with technology sometimes, unfortunately, we'll make sure to get that fixed up for you. Okay, and we are going to put up a poll currently. Let me see. I do apologize. It looks like something has happened with our poll that we had last time. But I will have you, if you would just put it in the chat instead, to saying if you're interested in the householding or the access forms, just send us a message that says access or household or both. And if you had any further questions, you could just send us a message that says questions or type your questions below. And that looks like everything that we have currently for this First Friday webinar series. I thank you guys, and I will leave it open just for another moment so that you guys can type in the chat what your questions would be, and we'll make sure to get them up to you just after we stop this. I thank you guys so much. Bye-bye.
Just want to make everybody available that this recording will be available on our website here within the next week. If you have any questions or concerns, please just give us a call back and we will be able to assist. Thank you.